Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Tonight we're going to be playing Yes, Your Grace, which was gifted to us by Tacitus. I don't know a great deal about it, but it seems to be sort of a narrative make decisions game. And then stuff will happen. We're really going into it blind, so with any luck, it'll be really entertaining for everybody. All I know so far is it has a pretty good soundtrack. Let's get into the kitties first. We do have Sky across the desk there, napping away. The kitty crud is getting to him a little bit more, but it's largely just he's sneezing a little bit. Outside of that, all of them are not visible. Ember is still under quarantine, though she is still more chipper. So hopefully that's going to end soon, and we'll see more of her. Sherbet is probably still hiding out. I did run him into the emergency clinic last night. If you recall, the stream had a strange and abrupt end last night. Sherbet was behaving very strangely. So I ended up boxing him up and running him to the clinic when his symptoms, the symptoms that I had observed, evaporated, and they have not recurred. So I've been instructed, for the most part, obtain pics or it does not happen, you know? So hopefully that was just some sort of paranoid delusion, you know? Sammy is getting some pets here on my lap. And Mason, who is still feeling a bit sick as well, but he is definitely getting better. His eye has gotten quite a bit better in the last night. So that's a great sign. That's a great sign. See if he keeps improving at that pace. Let's see, let's put it on the tree here. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see Tass popped into chat a little bit earlier. When I make these streams, I either have to, I draw some of the metadata for the stream from a prior one, whether it's a prior one of the same game, or just an arbitrary one that I can then modify. I modified this one from the last Murder by Numbers, and I had not updated the title until maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the stream. So, bit of a scramble. But it's totally working. And for those that show up after, I will definitely contend that it was working all along, and they're just remembering it incorrectly. All right, let's pop over into it. Let's see. We're gonna pause that, and then we'll switch over here. Might have to lower the music down a little bit. Hey there, Jorah. Let's get that down a little bit further. It is excellent, but I don't want it to override everything. Something like that, I think. Okay, let's switch on over. How's your day been, Jorah? Yes, your Grace is a game of tough choices. It will be impossible to satisfy the needs of every petitioner. Sometimes your subjects will have spiteful intentions, and sometimes life will get in the way. If you simply have enough resources at the end of each week, that's good enough. Coming down with something, or... Kitties are improving, thank you, Jorah. Mason's getting better. Sky is showing a little bit more sneezing, but he's still, he's still Sky otherwise. Sammy still showing no overt signs of trouble. Sherbet was behaving strangely last night, right at the end of the stream, but it doesn't seem to be continuing, or hasn't recurred, so fingers crossed there. So surely everything is fine and will be better forever. Click on a petitioner to call them forward. Like that guy, Audrey. It is time, Your Grace. Click on the throne to step down. On the crown. Oop. Wear the crown or leave it. Leave any room by walking to the edge of the screen or by selecting doors. On the castle wall to go there. Click. I've come to assume that Derek is a chatbot. As this is the opening line. Every time. A deserter. It's a soldier tied up on their knees there. Found one of ours hiding in a shed. Shed? Why would you do this, Sobek? There's too many of them. We have no chance of winning. If you let him off, the rest may follow. However, our army is sparse as it is. We need every set of hands able to hold a sword, Your Grace. Even the least brave soldiers are essential now. We need cannon fodder. Put him in front of the archers. Strap him to the wicker work. Courage, we will defeat the enemy, no matter the odds. Let him loose, General. Go and stand for Devon. Thank you, Your Grace. How bad is it, General? Our men are scared. It's the middle of the night, yet it's so bright as if Svarog himself walked our lands. The thin walls won't last long, and we lack any solid defense measures. We don't have enough men. Once they get in, we have nothing we can throw their way. Can you hear the chanting? They're getting ready. We better get started. I've gathered archers from all the other walls. They're awaiting you at the wall, Your Grace. There's still time to put up the white flags. A lot of folks out there. Surrender. Rousing speech. Or just open fire. Speechy time. My brothers, we stood together through the worst of times. We have proved our strength in many battles. And today we will prove it again. My bravest men, I bid you to fight for all you hold dear. For Davern. Very good sprite animation. Arg. Title screen. 1 year earlier. 3, 2, One. Alright, we're playing hide and seek with someone, it would seem. You found me. Well done, father. Now, Lorsulia. It's not often we can do this. I told you, I don't want to play. Aren't you too old for this? Sulia, that's no way to speak to your father. Lorsulia is a stick in the mud. Shut it, Asalia. We can see you from miles away. Roses make this place smell amazing. It's very calming. No wonder our girls like to spend time here. You know I'm not playing with you, darling. The sun finally came out. Let me enjoy it. Shoo, shoo, go away. Got you. Shouldn't have insulted your sister from across the gardens. She always has to ruin everything. She's so proud she couldn't even find a place to hide. I wasn't even trying to hide. I don't want to play. Next time you don't want to play, maybe try writing a formal announcement. Oh wait, you can't write. Of course I can, you nitwit. Cut it out, both of you. The other girl goes running away. Some quick around a little bit here. Donnie, here's the little one. No. I was doing so well, hiding here, clearly visible. You must have cheated, using your eyes in a game of hide and seek. How could you? Or peeked. I demand another trial of the game. How official. Maybe next time. Forgive me your grace. I hate to interrupt, but your subjects will soon arrive. Alright, enough games. The throne awaits. Grevno, Week 1. Petitioners will start queuing in a moment, Your Grace. We really need to shorten the visiting hours. Can you go and speak to Lorsulia, my dear? I've tried talking to her, but she won't respond. I don't know what's got into her recently. Maybe she'll open up a bit more to you. She's probably wandering about at the wall. Of course, my sweetest. That was an easy one. Your Grace, I bring bad news. Recent rains have soaked through our roofs. The pantry roof has collapsed, as well as some walls of our dungeon. Only one cell is currently functional. We should really really fix those things before they get worse. Otherwise, we'll keep losing supplies. You will see the required fixes in your weekly summary at the end of the week. When you meet people and talk to petitioners, your advisor makes a note about the encounter in your archives. You can see all the entries by clicking the Archives button below. Click. Blood damage. Come forth, peasant. Your Grace, my daughter's wedding is at hand. Good for you. The problem is, we don't have enough gold or supplies to make a worthy feast. What will my daughter's in-laws think of our family? We want to hire a band, buy some of that fancy wine on the market. We only need 5 gold and 5 supplies. That's a non-trivial part of our golden supplies, sir. No. Kingdom has more important matters at hand. Didn't you see the intro? We're going to get raided in like a year. Wish your daughter the best from me. You skimp us a little gold? Shouldn't the king support his people in the hard times? I mean, if you'd said, we need food to survive, that's one thing, but we need fancy wine in a band is a different thing, sir. I can't feed my guests with the king's blessing. Good taste, sir. As an ask for gold and supplies to fund his daughter's wedding, the king decided to ignore the request. I did not ignore it. I refused it. Fake news. Your Grace, I have come here representing my village. I want to ask you for 7 gold to help us gather tools and resources required to build an inn. Whoops, right-clicked. Well, I mean, in this era, I'm guessing an inn could be considered infrastructure. The best inn around. Make us monies. Oh, we surely will. Thank you, Your Grace. All right, what did they actually say? I missed a part of it. New inn for the village. Doesn't ask for gold to build a new inn for their village. The king decided to support the village. Okay. Monsters. Beasts dressed in black. They came in the night, unseen, unheard, until they arrived. They attacked the village. We heard the dreadful screams of the slain. Your Grace, I beg you, you must send your men, check what happened, find those responsible. Tell me more. Who are they? Bright red heads, short but sharp fangs. Hundreds of them. Gleaming metal for their claws. We've never seen anything like this. Oh, it's a loop. General should deal with these bandits easily. Okay, so a general was sent. That's what these resources down here are. Happily, the only part of the UI you can't really see is the archives button. Didn't really have a choice. We have to send the general to find out what's going on. Click on the glowing flower to advance the next week once you're ready. Sometimes you'll need to see your family members before you can advance. Can I be of service, Your Grace? Let's talk kingdom. What would you like to know about, Your Grace? We have to control 4 resources to keep our kingdom running smoothly. Gold, supplies, army, and contentment. So we got gold, supplies, army, and contentment. We need to distribute gold and supplies to our petitioners. If they're happy, their contentment will grow. A strong kingdom needs a big army. To gain more soldiers for our army, we will need to make alliances with neighboring lords and kings. We can gain resources through taxes, as well as from the alliances we make with lords. Villages in our domain pay taxes. Okay, I feel like the inn was definitely a good idea. We can tax all their fun. Happy people will pay their taxes gladly, while resentful ones will do what they can to get around them, resulting in less income for us. Okay. Okay. This is why we need to make sure people's contentment is high in order to keep a good gold flow. So, effectively, contentment is income. Peasants, merchants, knights, foreigners, lords even. They will all have problems and they will seek help from their king. We can use our resources or agents to help those in need. Beware though, some might come with malicious intentions, so you should carefully consider who is truly in need. Change the subject. How can I be of service? That was a let's change the subject is prior menu, please. Gardens, castle wall. What happens if we... No, we'll click the gate next time. There's the daughter, but there's a cat named Dusty. Priorities. Kitty cat. And you can pet the cat. Well, there we go. Game's rating is already in the good territory. Exactly, Jorah. Game of the year. Oh, it's you. You need to stop fighting with your sister. You want to talk about what happened in the gardens? No. I'm fine. I can see something's wrong. Why won't you talk to me? Everything's fine. Don't you have things to do? Pout. I don't know where your sister learned to be so rude. Mm-hmm. You used to find the best spots, remember? Maybe I'm not 5 anymore? Don't understand me. Eh. Leave you to it. What happens if we click the gate? Gate looks very old. Anyone with some strength could probably just barge through it. That seems like a bad idea. The dungeon. Worse than I thought. Yeah, there's puddles all over the place, and a big hole in the roof. The recent downpours have damaged a lot of our buildings. While we still have space for prisoners, we should focus on buildings that need more attention. I've had a scribe write a list of things that need to be fixed. You'll see this in your weekly summary. This sounds like it's going to be costly. Yes. Monsters attacked a village. We have sent a general. Peoples. Barrels are empty. They used to store our wine. And all the gods, that could have been me. Your Grace, do you see what happened here? If I was in the other cell, I would have been crushed. This is a sign. The gods have forgiven my sins. I shall serve the mighty ones. I will dedicate my life to those in need. I mean, if I could get out of here, please. Why were you in here again? Oh, I bumped into the innkeeper on the street and, stepped on his toe. Question mark? How dare you tell such falsehoods? He ordered a gallon of beer, drank it all by himself, and didn't even have the gold to pay for it. I know the innkeeper. He was pretty upset. Oh yeah, I remember. Your Grace, I have been enlightened. I won't ever do such a stupid thing again. I will serve a higher purpose now. Just maybe let me out? I mean... yeah, I almost want to keep him in there for the stupid excuse. But at the same time, ragged in a dungeon for that seems to be excessive? We'll let him out. Hope you learned your lesson. You may leave. What? Really? The gods have truly chosen me. I will go and spread their wisdom. Thank you, Your Grace. Our paths will cross again. I can feel it. random peasant will remember this. Divine intervention. A peasant imprisoned in our dungeons was nearly killed by the collapsing cells. Divine intervention. Upon hearing the peasant's remorse over his actions, the king decided to set him free. Created a religious lunatic. Exactly. Think of the mess if he gets squished by the ceiling, Jorah. It's much more cost-effective if we let him out. You can save the cell for somebody more squish-worthy. Yes, Father? Can you explain the fight in the gardens? What is the matter with you two? You and Lorsulia used to be the best friends. You mean, why is Lorsulia such a big baby? This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. She's annoying, is all. You don't have to be the best friends, but she is your sister, and you need to stop insulting her. Yes, Father. I'll try. Please at least be civil. Okay, now I click the little flower thing. This is your weekly summary screen. Here you will be able to see your kingdom's weekly income and expenses. You can buy upgrades and fixes for the castle in the left section. To buy an upgrade, simply click the button in the with the upgrade name, and you will see the cost added to the summary. Pantry roof is costing us food. All of this stuff is bad. But if we spend all, let's see, we're gaining 11. We would be down. So we don't want to lose supplies. We're losing 1 contentment from the broken theater. We're going to save that, and we'll do the market stall. So we're in the red as far as resources, but we should start gaining back. That is my theory. That's what we're going with. Lots of folks this time. Click. Grace, no sign of the monsters. We did stumble upon these bandits, though. They were pillaging the village. Makes sense. Redhead, sharp teeth. The crest of Radovia. I thought you could only find them in books and old manuscripts. Well, seems like we have one right here, too. Tell me. Whose banner? Is it true that you're from Radovia? Your man is right. Radovia is my home. And soon yours, too. What were you and your men doing near the village? We're just making a living. One man might call it plunder. I would call it hard work. You gotta get the day-to-day in, you know, wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, burn down a village, kill some peasants, take the commute home, you know, put up your feet, go to bed. Do you have a king? Or are you just a barbaric thief? We are a free people. We don't bow to kings or lords. Bold words for someone trespassing in another country. Bold and stupid. Your Grace, we can't allow barbarians to stalk our lands. Thanks. Thanks, Jorah. But I feel the drive a kingdom to ruin is a certainty. plundering and killing innocent men, there is no question that justice needs to be dealt to this one. Well, I feel like no my mercy is not going to go over well for a man with apparently sharpened teeth and a skull on his chest. Yeah, we'll save room in the dungeons. No Radovian scum will threaten the crown. Behead him. My brothers will hear about this, and you will feel their poisonous bite. I need to see Aurelia about this. I mean, he's kind of threatening, hey, my friends are going to come attack you. They're going to do the thing that I got arrested for if you punish me for it. What do you make of this, Audrey? Radovians? Here? How would they get through the mountains? Why would they threaten a war? That's a lot of questions, but I need answers, Audrey. Forgive me, Your Grace, I'm just puzzled. It might be reasonable to start thinking about renewing some old treaties. Talk to old friends, see who could give us a hand. With our current resources, a war would bring certain defeat. I will make some preparations. Exactly, Tess. You lock me up, I'm gonna rob... my friends are gonna rob banks, too. Who are your friends? Bank robbers. Like me. Oh, so they were gonna do that anyway, weren't they? I bring news, Father. Asalia sneaked out at night last week. I ran into her while she was going back to her chamber, all laughing and a little tipsy, I think. She wouldn't say where she'd been, but Sidani, as thick as she is, spilled everything to me in the morning. Those two chit-chat all the time. They think I don't realize. Thick, don't speak ill of your sister. What's got into you? Asalia sneaks out to some wedding, gets all drunk, but I'm the bad one all of a sudden. I'd better talk to Asalia about this. You girls are going to drive me mad one day. I wonder if she snuck out to the wedding that was part of the prior entries. So she got tipsy on some beer that was available at the wedding, but I wonder if she would have been drunk on wine if we had funded them. Come forth, peasant. Your Grace, my dear son is nowhere to be found. Yes, a really daft little boy, but still, he is my son. I ask you help us find him. Is there a chance you could do so? Okay, I could send my general for 2 weeks, but we're not doing that. It's a lot of monies. No. You should try get the villagers to help you. Your Grace, please. I can pay you. I have scraped together 1 piece of gold. Nope, you're on your own. I figured as much. Not sure my men or gold would make any difference. Your son could be anywhere. I was afraid you would say that, but I will not give up on him. I will find him myself. I'm sure that won't come back to haunt us. Next! My name is Etten. I'm the Lord of Branca. Branca? Whatever. Your Grace. I will be as straightforward as possible. Someone has kidnapped my daughter, and they expect me to pay 12 gold to get her back. The thing is, I tracked them down, and I know where they're keeping her. The younger daughter is definitely amusing. The older daughter is so far demonstrated only to be kind of a jerk. I've planned everything out. I just need your general to help me take her back. Or I could just pay the ransom. Either way, I need your help. I don't want to spend 12 gold. I think this is a good use for the general. Put a lord in our debt. Send the general my way, and I will tell him my plan. Thank you, Your Grace. It has to work. Pietro. Your Grace, I fear for my life. I think someone is trying to get me. What's going on? I think someone is following me. They want me dead. Who's they? I don't know. How would I know? I haven't done anything, right? Better be going. Ah. Well, he's not a suspicious fellow at all. Sent the general to help Lord Etten. Lord visited the castle. He mentions someone fearing for his life. Dismissed the peasant. So I hear you went out partying last night. There's a wedding in the village. Heard there was quite a fine wedding in the village just outside our walls. It wasn't bad, but I heard it could have been better if my father was a bit less stingy. Yep, that was the wedding. Okay, so it's going to be that kind of situation where all of the choices end up having some interwoven events. How do you know this? Sounds as if they had the honor of a royal guest. No, no. Why would you think that? No. I've heard what people say is all. Come now, I know about the wedding. Lord Sulia told me what happened. How would she know anyway? Oh, of course, Sidani. Sidani. Yes, you told your little sister. What did you think was going to happen? You're careless. Sneaking out at night, insulting your sister. What's next? I don't know. Murder, maybe? She's fun. That's the right answer. Enough of your jokes. Do you know what's out there? What could have happened if someone found a princess by herself in a village? All the drunkards, thugs. Nothing happened. I was dressed differently. I was careful. I'm not stupid. Hey, that's good to hear, casemate. So the interview went well, then. You know what I'm doing. All I wanted was a little fun. Lorsulia said you got drunk? That's a lie. I know what I'm doing. I can take care of myself. How many times? Lorsulia. Since she turned 13, she thinks you will make her marry some fat, dumb prince and send her off to another castle. Well, it's got to be a bit of a relief there, casemate. Job search is one of those things that's increasingly stressful until it's suddenly not, you know? She intends to be such a lousy rat. Maybe it would be for the best. Is that why she's been acting up lately? I suppose so. It doesn't change the fact that she's just infuriating. It doesn't change the fact that you didn't stop with the name calling. You are confined to the castle. More visits to the market. What am I supposed to do inside these god-forsaken walls? Stupid Lorsulia, I'll teach her a lesson. Stop with the names. Wonder what all the different restrictions would do. Better talk to Lorsulia. Let's check the rest of the garden just in case there's another child lingering. Priorities. Pet the kitty. Meow. These fields used to be covered in forests. Our agriculture is thriving. Oh, it's you. Celia told me what's going on. She told me why you might be feeling a bit down recently. Oh, and why is that? You'll have to get married. You're a princess, and every princess needs a prince. Getting upset... Oh, okay, this is not... I didn't realize the probable tone that this would have. I'm sure this will go well. Getting upset, not talking to us won't help, but I can promise that we will take it slow. Time will show. Okay, well that could have been worse how it played out. Gray Mountains. Luli loves them. Lucky to have such a beautiful landscape. Hey, you don't have to do all these side things. Fireplace. Stork painting. We get a lot of storks here in Davern. They're very graceful birds. The Grey Mountains, in painting form. They seem much bigger in real life than they are in this painting. Really? Well observed, sir. This fireplace is full of ash. It's quite cozy here in the evenings, though. Wish I could have a snooze right now. I have plenty to do, though. Darling? Radovians have come to Davern. One of their bandits was brought to the castle. Radovians? That can't be right. Do you think it's about our promise? It might be. What do you think? Ooh, intrigue. 13 years ago, we promised our unborn child's hand to a thug. Bayren, wasn't it? Does it matter? After 13 years, a Radovian shows up in our castle. I'll be damned. Yes, Lorsulia will soon become a woman, and we will need to find her a husband. And Bayren, the villain, will arrive to make me fulfill my promise. Oh, there's a witch, apparently. You remember the curse? I don't even want to think about this. Let's just hope the curse is nothing but a hoax and see how things with the thug turn out. So there's a thug, there's a witch's curse. Oh. Stuff's gonna go down. How could we have promised our daughter's hand to a Radovian? With a knife to my throat, I'm not sure what else we could have done. I think our daughter will marry some barbaric thug, though. They keep saying thug. Can't let this happen, Eric. Don't worry, we will solve this. What are we going to do? If Baron ever shows up to claim our daughter's hand, hopefully no one will believe him. We just need to play stupid. Unless he shows up with an army. Don't be silly. How could a commoner afford an army? Even we can't. How could Radovians get to Davern? Anything seems possible at this stage. Did you send the bandit to the dungeon? No, let him see justice. You should have questioned him first. One less barbarian to worry about, though. I don't know. It's so unreal. Marry a prince, a lord even, yes, but let her marry a thug? Can't do this. It will be fine. I won't let them take her away. Eric, I'm terrified. I can handle this. I got this. Don't worry. Fine, I'll stay here. Check the map just in case. Alright. Oh, mirror. I look so tired. Or maybe I'm just old. Wow, breaking the fourth wall, I guess. Aurelia loves to knit. Okay. Okay. So if we fix the theater now, we'll stop hemorrhaging contentment. We're not flush with monies, though. Ooh, carrier pigeon. Dear Eric, we have crossed the mountains. We will come for what was promised. For the gods have graced us with their strength. Baron, king of Redovia. Well then. They do have a king after all. I would explain the whole how does a commoner get an army? Well, he becomes the king of the bandits. And where there's a king, an army follows. What promise are they babbling about anyway? You never mentioned it, Your Grace. I didn't think I would have to keep my word. You never mentioned that you were indebted to somebody? Well, I was lying, and I didn't think it would ever come back to haunt me. What was I gonna do other than lie? Can't let barbarians seize the throne. Our treasury is low, but we can always seek allies. We'll let you get on with the audits, and I'll make some preparations. We'll be in the council chamber, Your Grace. Banker. Here representing the Bank de Florentini. I hear that your treasury has seen better times, but I'm here to help. Okay, how does this work? We understand that sometimes it's hard to be a king, and we want to do our best to help. We have nothing but your best interest at heart. Now for a quick and easy solution to give you a surge of gold or supplies, whichever you may need. Our exclusive package offers 50 gold or supplies instantly available for your use. Bank only adds a small fee of 10 gold or supplies depending on the type of loan. It's paid off in weekly amounts of 10 until you pay off your debt. We won't charge you any additional costs. Okay, so you get 50 at once, but you end up having to pay it off over a period. You pay it off with a 20% markup in increments of 10. So if your income's not good, it's going to bleed you fast. Last note, you can only do one type of loan at a time, so if you want to borrow gold, we can't lend you supplies until the first loan is repaid. Remember, the first loan is free of charge. You just pay back what you take. Yeah, no. Shoo, shoo. Pigeons always bring so much mess into the throne room. Bring in the next peasant. Injustice and hunger have struck our village. Men dressed in black came and took our stock. Hardly anything left worth Hardly anything left worth giving to the dogs now. I wanted to ask for 7 pieces of gold, or 5 sacks of supplies. That way we can at least keep our children fed. Here's the supplies. Feed your children well. Be enough to keep us going for a couple of weeks. Merchant. Come with a business proposition. I need 12 gold to hire men and buy resources to build a new tavern in Branca. You see, the tavern will serve as more than just a way for locals to get drunk. The village is really well positioned. It has many visitors, but they never stay for long. A new tavern will change that and will guarantee a steady income. Share the profits once I start making money on the business. Come back another time. I like the sound of this, but our treasury cannot afford the expense right now. Come back in a couple weeks. It's another good opportunity, I think, like we did with the first one. Next, peasant. Your Grace, a disease is crawling in our village. It's nothing serious, I don't think, but fevers and sneezes are all over the place. It appeared out of nowhere, as if a dark force brought it upon us. Oof. Here's some supplies. This is enough for you and your neighbors. Thank you. This is more than we expected anyway. You have a good heart. Oh, we're burning up resources. What was the Emperor's New Groove line? You should have thought about that before you became peasants. Was it? It's no concern of mine whether you have... What was it you wanted now? Food? Well, you should have thought about that before you became peasants. These swords look quite sharp, but they are about 1,000 years old. A shield with our kingdom's emblem. I remember in Fable 3, they very crudely did that, like, badly. And one of the things that they didn't account for at all is the idea that you would be wealthy approaching the end of the game. Because all of the things were like, oh man, you could spend money, but at what cost? And it's like, no, spend the money. How is it going to affect our treasury? Go for it. It's forged by a famous blacksmith from Grevno. Chandelier is so old and rusty. Hope it doesn't drop on my head. Ominous. River brings a lot of wildlife to the area. I enjoy the sound of birds chirping away each morning. Can I help, Your Grace? I'm just looking around, visiting the dungeon. I wonder if there are some, like, hidden ones, or if they're all on the little gemstones. Hey there, honey. So, do you want to marry a barbarian chieftain?
I don't know.
Just checking in. Really just wanted to see the cat. You're just collateral socialization. Oof, what's that smell? Is that you, Dusty? It wasn't me. Blaming the cat. Okay, so you can encounter people in other spots, but I don't think you can really interact with them. Yeah. Unless there's a marker. So Audrey, I believe, is the important one. Nothing useful in here, just a pile of rubbish. It's your standard trash chest. You put them around there so that people, you know, can throw out their cigarette butts and that kind of thing. Just throw them in the trash chest. Just books, plenty of them. Various kinds, you know, we just keep them around for the color. Side table of food is very useful for long meetings. These antlers come from the biggest deer in Davern. Came from... Aurelia made these. This one shows a stork. It's our house emblem. I bought it on the market. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it looks nice. Pretty much any time there's a globe like that, I think that's what it is. Not sure how accurate it is, but it looks nice. Aurelia loves to knit. She leaves balls of wool everywhere. Bearskin rug was a wedding gift. It must have been very expensive. Hey there. So, I'm familiar with people using pumpkin as a nickname. I guess I could see silly pickle. I guess. It just seems questionable. But I can't see calling a child potato head is anything but insulting. So we're going to call her Potato Head. No! I haven't... See? I have a normal head. Yes, like a normal potato. Father of the Year. Your Grace. You shouldn't be playing here. I always tell you not to play here. But this is my most cherished place in the fortress. You have the most finest items here, Father. Please let me stay here. I won't break anything. Fine. As long as you don't touch stuff. Thank you, Your Grace. Let's see what else is here. Go touch things. I appointed a scout. He will let us know what we're up against. Meanwhile, we should invite King Talus. He might be able to help. Allies. Talk to nearby lords. But first, I would suggest inviting Talus. Here you can view details of each of your potential allies. You need to have a pigeon available to send an invite. We have one of one pigeons. Great. Talus should visit us within the week. With his army, we should be able to repel Redovia. No matter what they come with. Thank you, Audrey. Alright, well, let's see how this all shakes out. Okay, things seem to be okay. Revno, week 4. We have service. How's the battle prep going? Would you like to know? Is our army ready to confront them? We don't yet know what we're up against, but with our current army, we couldn't even defend against peasants with shovels. Svetovid himself would have to help us. Finding allies will be vital. How's the kingdom doing? Would you like to know? Oh, nope, that's tutorial. Bring news about Lord Etton's case, Your Grace. With his plan, my squad and I managed to take his daughter back. Alright, well, he better fork out resources. Gave them food. Gave them food. Ransom. Oh, there's King Talus. Hardly any light can get through these windows. These halls used to shine, Eric. Oh, and his daughter just shoved in line. Father, look what she did. Acelia has put poop under my pillow. How can I ever wash it off? Why did you tell her I told on her? One and three are ultimately the same. Two is a bald-faced lie. Let's go with one. I'm busy. Never have time. We'll deal with that later. Scuttle off for now. Can't even control your children. And if you can't even control your children, I'm surprised you still sit where you do. I wonder if shouting her down would have gotten a better reaction from the king here. And that I'm still standing where I am. Forgive me, we've had a lot going on recently. I'm asking if you're going to make me stand like a commoner here. Of course, let's talk in the council room. You have a lot of books. What is she doing here? Are you letting children play with your archives? Yep, this is another. I let her play in here, and now I'm getting. I'm paying for it. Girl, be gone. Are you a king or a blasted nanny? What can be so important that you couldn't just send me a pigeon? I'll be straightforward with this. I need an army. Redovia has threatened me and my family. Redovia? Here? Yes, they're simple men, untrained. Tell you what, I'll give you 3,000 soldiers. My army can deal with anything they throw its way. What? Just like that? Of course not, you see. My son, Ivo, has been crying and moaning to me about finding him a princess. He's always bothering me. It's about time he grew up. A wife would keep him busy, out of my way. Wow. I thought the whole call your kid Potato Head was Father of the Year, but we have a competitor. Ursulia would be good enough for him. She could teach him a thing or two. I also want access to the fine collection of books you have here, plus anything else you can find. You still seek cures for your wife? Her condition hasn't improved? Well, that does not concern you. You get an army, I get Lucilia and access to these books. So an army for a marriage in return. Of course, you catch on quickly. I'll send my armies right away. On my terms. I can't just let you take my daughter for a few hundred men. Come on now, Eric. We both know Davern has seen better times. When Redovia comes, who will protect your people, your family? Are you going to order peasants to fight them with pitchforks? Oof. The extra gold could be useful short term, but More soldiers. They will be at your disposal whenever we need them. At our disposal. That's fine. I will send an army straight away, but I want immediate access to the archives. The marriage can be organized later. Let me get lost in your books, then. I think I will start from this room. Fine, you can find me in the throne room if you need me. What do we have here? Great, you've made a new ally. You can now try to make more allies by inviting other lords to in the allies panel. When lords have news, a green icon appears above their name, like this one next to Lady Ada. Alright. Talus is the biggest of jerks. Your Grace. Be on my way. Just keep up the good work, Stan. Oh, it's you. Something I need to tell you. We have no choice. You must marry Ivo, the Prince of Atana. I'm sorry. What do you mean? Don't I get a say in this? We need this marriage to secure an army that will defend us. A war is coming. So I'm going to be sacrificed? Did you even consider any other options? Did you even try to offer something other than your daughter? Well, I knew it. I knew the day I'm old enough you would just sell me to the highest bidder. You've been waiting for this. You can't wait to get rid of me, can you? Well, at this point, yes. Wish I was a common girl living in a village, having nothing to worry about. Exactly, Adam. Of course you get a say. You can say whatever you want, but you're still doing it. Stupid wedding, stupid prince. You're stupid. Well, I just wanted to talk to the cat anyway. There's Lord Etten. Your Grace. Your Grace, my daughter is back. Those goons didn't even know what hit them, and we hit them hard. If it wasn't for your general, I'm not sure if my plan would have worked. Take this gold as a thank you. Hey, free monies. Every now and then my camera software crashes and I gotta give it a little smack. Extra monies, extra happiness. These are good things. Darling. Sold off our daughter. What? No. Did Pyron find us? We can't let him. Rosulia is to marry Ivo, the Prince of Atana. Made a treaty with Talus. Marriage for an army. No, we cannot let her marry a barbarian. Does she mean that Terrace and company are barbarians too? Wait, Ivo? That's good. That's great. Ivo is a prince after all, and if Lorsulia is married to Ivo, then Baron can't do anything. Talus's army might simply scare them away. This is fantastic news. Wonderful. Who's going to prepare the wedding? Guests, menus. We need to decorate the throne room. We need to buy flowers and decorations. We need a band, too. I'll do it, yeah. See how the treasury looks at the end of the week. Does Laura Sulia know yet? Yeah, she did. She didn't take it so well. But what does she know? She wouldn't want to marry that barbarian. Who knows what Rodovians do with their wives? Be surprised if they cut them up and eat them for dinner the next day. That doesn't seem like a sound bridal tradition. Give her time, she'll come around. I might actually sleep tonight. Hang on, no, everything's on my head. What shall we eat? Where will I get a dress? Everything will turn out fine. See, I told you, get rest. Fine, I'll stay here. Salia? Of course she's not here. Your Grace? How you doing? You're a king, so why do you listen to the man in the council chamber, Father? Well, he's a king too, you know. You're a better king. He should listen to you. Yeah, I like how once you've chosen the name, it sticks. Yes, keep your voice down, Potato Head. Not sure what these purple flowers are, but they're attracting a lot of bees. Bees. Anything new in yon dungeon? No? Okay. Click. Later that night. Better be something important at this ungodly hour. Your Grace, Rodovian forces have been spotted nearby. We should send our men to track them down. They've come for Lorsulia. We must do something. Send goons. Let's send Stan. We need to see what they're up to. I mean, let's think about this a minute, people. So, the deal was that we marry off the daughter, and in exchange, we working now? Well, that was silly. So apparently, I managed to bump the turn microphone off button, which is a button that I don't need. Since it's a microphone that runs through software, I really don't need a big, easily pressed button right there. But it's there. Oh well. Anyhow, thanks for calling that out, casemate. What have you learned, General? Rodovians have formed stationary posts around our castle. Camps, if you like. They're planning their next moves. Destroying the posts should damage their ability to form strategies, Your Grace. Although we now have a prospect of an army, we shouldn't give them any advantage. We should take a look at the map. Send an agent to clear out those posts as soon as possible. Wait on my mark, General. I will instruct you where to strike. Made camps around your castle. You need to send a general to eliminate the posts. See the posts, open the map, click below. Send general by selecting a Rodovian post and click on the magnifying glass icon. Explore locations may result in the gain of resources. In these cases, we need to dispatch... In this case, we need to dispatch of the Rodovian posts. Some of the language is tricky. You can send any agent to explore any location. It's much concerned about the ones in the fields. Immediately, I'm going to need that general. We'll be ready for the wedding in 4 weeks. The Rodovian posts need to be eliminated by then. We'll need to provide for the people's needs. Strike the right balance between the two might be tough, if not impossible. With our current resources, we will need to prioritize. I'm way ahead of you. We are cutting expenses. There's the person I invited. Your Grace, you called for me? Must forget how beautiful this castle is, Your Grace. I really should visit Grevno more often. Nevertheless, Your Grace, I have a favor to ask of you. Thank you. What can I do for you? There is a nefarious thief going from lord to lord, pretending like he needs help. He convinced other nearby lords to give him gold, including me. He always says he's a merchant and his goods have been stolen. I'm sure he will visit you sooner or later. What do you want me to do? Let's say he does show up in my throne room, and I recognize him. All I ask is of you is to imprison him. I don't want you to lose gold like I did. Once you have him in your dungeons, send a pigeon for me and I will deal with him. I'll keep an eye out. If I find him, I will send for you as soon as possible. Thank you very much. All right. I think this is the merchant that we talked to last time. Business proposition. Yep. 12 gold to hire men and build a tavern. The profits once it starts. Okay, here's your money. 8 solid tables, 13 beds. We could make a cheaper shared chamber. It's gone to work. How can I help, Potato Head? I'm worried about Lorsulia, Father. What will happen to her when she leaves? She promised me she'd take care of me, and now she's leaving. Why would she lie? And what happens to Dusty? Everything's fine. Lorsulia will be very happy where she's going. As for Dusty, it's Lorsulia's cat. She will probably want to take Dusty to keep her company. But if she didn't leave, then Dusty wouldn't have to go as well. I don't want her to leave. Can you talk to her? It's not exactly her choice. I'm sure she would never. She would prefer to stay. She would never leave you. Leave you on purpose. Why does she do it then? If she would rather stay, she should. Can you talk to her? Convince her to stay? Of course, Sidani. I can try convincing her, but I don't think that will change a thing. I knew I could count on you. Thank you. Better check on her when there's time. Peasant. Your Grace, they took our cattle. Monsters with steel came in the night and took everything. Sure, there's plenty of grass left now, but what's the good of it if there ain't cattle to graze on it? Can you help us? Here's some supplies. That should replace your cattle and get you something to eat for a while. That's perfect. Away we go. Suli's not up there. Maybe Asalia knows where she is. What is up there? Nothing. Let me exit from this side. Oh, that's convenient. We can. Your Grace. How are things? You're a king, so why do you listen? Okay. In the council chamber, he's king too. You're a better king. Blah. Yes, father? Swords? Please tell me you haven't had a skirmish with Lorsulia. She's far too soft for that. She wouldn't stand a chance. Let me be the judge of that. Show me what you've got. Really? You'll fight with a girl? Let's go. I don't really know how to. Since I can't go to the market, I had to find something else to do. I just picked them up. Let's talk. More stab. See what you can do. Just go easy on me. Ouch. Too slow. Quite an arm there, young lady. So tell me, Asalia, what is going on with you two? Still holding grudges? She's locked herself up in her chamber. What a baby. You did leave poop on her bed. Don't pretend like this is the reason she won't come out. This what will happen to me one day, too? I want to say no. I don't want my little girl to leave home so soon, but the truth is, once you become of age, we will need to find you a husband. Sooner or later. Guess I didn't think of it before. This puts everything into a different perspective. I was angry at her for being so irritating, but now I'm angry at her that she's leaving me. I feel bad for her. But who will I vex now? Sidoni is too young. It's not the same. It's not that I actually care for her, it's just I need somebody to pick on. I'm sure you will find a way to occupy your time. Yes, we shall end it here. To try to rotate them. I was just warming up. You think we could do this again one day? Sure. I'll find you when I have a while. I suppose that'll be never then. We hardly do anything anymore. Alice will tell you otherwise, trust me. Father, I'm sorry. What I did to Lorsulia wasn't fair. Don't apologize to me. I know, I feel like it's best to give her some time. I'll make it right, though. Don't do anything silly. Do I ever? Constantly. Okay, can't leave the side of that one. We're just not going to mention the wedding prep. I think I might actually sleep tonight. Just going to gloss right over that. No need to mention. Still time until the wedding. No sign of the Rodovians at the East Post. Nothing left behind. Think I know that they are after me. Who are you talking about? Yesterday, when I went to bed, someone was in my room. They moved the candles. They left them on the windowsill. I never leave my candles on the windowsill. Your Grace. Who keeps letting that man in? Have you seen Lorsulia? I think she's still locked up in her chamber. She's refusing to come out. I think it's best to give her some time. I don't know what to do. The wedding is so close. I want her to help me pick the flowers, but she won't talk to me. Suppose you're right, though. I will get back to the preparations. Of course. Just don't sign any agreements that require, you know, money. Grace, yet another village has been raided by Rodovian forces. Should we aid them in their time of need? This could have great effect on your people's contentment, Your Grace. We can't allow Rodovia to threaten our land. Yeah, well, let's send the general. Our general can station his men there for a little while. This may mess up the wedding. Do you have there, merchant? Your Grace, I bring you a mixture that can cure illness. Works most of the time. Cures almost anything. Won't find better for 5 gold pieces. No. Think I'll pass. That's on such a fine product, but how can you know for sure that you won't need it? I will peddle it elsewhere. I feel like that's one of the things that could really burn us as far as the other king. No, it's wedding prep. We just have to talk to her to move along. Oh, we don't have a general. Yep. Oh well. Get close to the wedding. Make sure those Rodovian posts are not a threat. Your Grace, thanks to the new inn we've built, our workers are happier and work harder. We can now plow much faster. We still need to maintain the inn, but I want to bring you something extra for the help. We will be contributing 1 gold every week to the kingdom. Thank you. Our people will appreciate it. Please visit us if you ever need anything more. Tavern you helped me to establish is up and running. It's doing so well that there's not just a that it is not just a stop between long trips. It's now more of a destination on its own. As promised, I will now start sharing my profits. A whole 1 gold every week. Every week. It sounds fair, right? Ridiculously low. Give me 3. Yes, you're right, Your Grace. 3 pieces of gold it is. It was worth a shot. You hiding there, potato head? You said I can't have a cat, so I got myself a different pet. Never said you can't have a cat, you just can't have Lursulius. It's a snail. I found him in the garden and I called him Smudge. That's very cute. It's an unusual pet and an original name. You are totally going to accidentally kill Smudge any time now. Soundtrack suddenly kicked in. Huh. He's nice, but he's not a cat. It's all slimy and sticky. Kinda gross. It's the best replacement I've found so far. Maybe if Lursulia didn't have to leave, she could help me find something better. Okay, so... Well, what if we took your sister's cat away? I mean, we're already having her married to somebody with no input. We could also take her cat away. Going to father as hard as we can here. I don't think your tricks are going to work. Ursulia has to leave. She will marry Ivo, and with that, she will have to stay with him. Support him. So there's no way? No way. I think you would love it in the council chamber, Father. When can I go back there? You mean the snail? What was it? Smeary? It's Smudge. It's not that hard, Father. He smudges, that's why. Yes, Smudge. I'm afraid you won't be able to go to the council chamber for a while, though. King Talus is staying there until the wedding ceremony. Next, peasant. Clearly drunk. I have a small favor to ask of you. Teeny tiny. If you happen to have any spare gold, you see, 1 piece of gold is all I ask for. That way, I could get myself some booze. No, boots. He wants boots. I know this is rather unusual, but I would greatly appreciate the help. What say you? Have some boots. But it better be boots. Of course, what else? Thank you. Gold for boots. They raided a village. Okay, we should be getting a lot of money. More peasants. The village has been raided by bandits. Let me guess, there's a monster on their banners. No, not at all. Locals for sure, but they were armed. Our food supplies and cattle were stolen. Greatly appreciate your support. Well, I can't send a general. Here's some supplies. Hope this will compensate your losses. We're very economy-focused this run, it would seem. It's like Rodovia has copycats of sorts. Other bandits can now get away with their crimes more easily. They know the blame will fall on the Rodovians and hope we won't look for them. Things will settle down after the wedding, I'm sure. Your Grace, I've been robbed. Okay, this is the guy that Ada said to watch out for. I was on my way to Hagos when a bunch of thugs threatened my life, and if I did not give them all of my goods. Now I'm left with nothing and nowhere to go. Is there a chance I could count on your support? Get in the box. No, Your Grace, I'm telling the truth. It was the Radovian barbarians. We will spend some time in our dungeons. Should let Lady Ada know we found her wrongdoer. Go, pigeon, go! Hey, buddy. Grace, I really don't understand. Why am I here? You know why. How do you dare ask that? You're going to stay here until Lady Ada comes. Fine, Your Grace. You think I don't know your dirty tricks? Lady Ada told me what you did. Oh, Lady Ada. I didn't realize you two knew each other. Huh. Gives us a confirmation that we have the right guy. Are you going to ask about the wedding? Pick. Yeah, Tavern Inn to New Inn. Racking up the monies. Final week before the big night. The last chance to deal with the Radovian posts. The Queen wanted to see you. Radovia attacked again, but their squad didn't stand a chance against us. I would like to think that it will be a while before they decide to attack one of our villages again, but we don't have all the posts dealt with. You called for me? What did the thief look like? Dirty cream apron, dark green shirt, and a hat. I put the man in the dungeon where he belongs. I take him with me? Do what you want. Show him where this place is, and of course you can count on my help during your upcoming battle. I don't have much to offer, but it's better than nothing. Glad we became allies, Lady Ada. It's good to have you on our side. Yep, 60 dudes. Alright, buddy. What you scared of this time? Starting to think that perhaps you are involved. What am I saying? Why would I say this? Why would you tell someone you know that they know? I better leave. I can leave, right? Who keeps letting this man in here? Father, you finally came out. Can you please come and meet me at the wall when you get a chance? I wanted to talk to you. Of course. Next, peasant. Came here to ask you for help. My father is very sick with a fever. Help me, please. He's pale as a ghost, and he shakes and sweats all the time. We've tried treating the fever with cold water, a poultice of butter, onion, and garlic. I mean, were you trying to bake him for an extra crispy, tasty skin? Given him a concoction of wormwood and mint. Yes, we even tried letting the bad blood with leeches. Afraid he might not last another night. If we had a court witch available, she could handle these diseases. That's true. You should put word out that we're looking for one. As for your father... Try looking for a healer. You think I've tried that already? I wouldn't have come here otherwise. Hell with that. That crazy old witch from the forest is my best bet now. We just said we were looking for a witch. Tell us where this crazy old witch is. Yep. Defending the village was good for our location, but it won't be good for the upcoming wedding. Though I'm not terribly worried. It's you. Sorry I shouted at you. I didn't mean it when I called you stupid. I just wish things were different. I just wish I'd spent the past couple of days being with you, not angry at you. I know. I love you. I love you too. Or, you'll be fine, Pat Pat. Ugh. I hate it when you call me that, but you're still my little Luli. It's alright, Papa. I'll miss you calling me Luli. Your mother has prepared one hell of a wedding. Not without that money, she hasn't. Better get ready before she finds me. See you at the party. Kitty cat. Nothing. Everything is ready, apart from one last thing. Choose a dress. Oh my god, that one on the left. That one on the right, super simple. That one. Obviously not an option. Found in the chest of my old clothes. It even smells. Won't cost a coin, but what would everyone think? So, the puffy one... No. She really wants to choose that one. I object to it on many levels. It's a middle ground gown. Nothing special, but for 25? The puffy one. That free one. Surely this is a joke. This one is not even white. I shouldn't have let you pick the dress. I shouldn't have asked you about the wedding. Didn't actually want my input after all. How are you doing? No, same thing. Cracked pavement. Yes. Going to be a banquet. For you it will. Not for Lasulia. I still can't believe she's leaving. Hopefully she can learn to be friends with Prince Ivo. Don't think she wants to. I know, I wish we had more time to find a prince, but this is the way it has to be. Hey, buddy. Find anything? Are those books of any use? healing fever, how to prevent dysentery, something about malaria. All of these are useless. Haven't seen Paloma in years. Does the illness persist? Are you so curious about her? Yes, she's still sick. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here. Like I told you already, it's none of your business. I'd like to know about a little about your son before, you know, the marriage. It's there to say. Ivo has royal blood, and I pay enough for his masters to ensure that he's at least half as smart as I am. Can't you just leave me alone? Be in the throne room if you need me. Read as much as you like. Click. Let's get on with this farce. King of Davern and Etana make an alliance treaty to join forces against Redovia. I'm overwhelmed by the beauty of my new wife here. I'll enjoy the company, I'm sure. And he's very drunk. Someone help the young prince? It's just nervousness, that's all. Oh, no need, I'm up. Like I said, company, my wife, yeah. Here's to that. Forgive me, Father said I should make some kind of speech. Wasn't sure what to say. I hope I didn't offend you. You look... That's an interesting choice of dress, by the way. Oh. At least he's better than a barbarian war chief. Wouldn't let me marry someone inappropriate. You know that, right, Lorsulia? A bit clumsy, to be sure, but he'll grow out of that. Uh-huh. Your Grace, men from Redovia. Didn't manage to clear their posts? I hope this is nothing serious. A nearby village was raided. They've kidnapped the blacksmith's children. I'll deal with this later. I'll have my general check this out as soon as I have time. Be on my way, if you'll excuse me. Alice. About the Redovians. The seal's the deal. You get the army, I get full access to the archives. I wasn't sure if you would honor your bargain. A man of my word. I suppose you are. Everyone was busy eating fancy food and drinking the finest wine. I looked for him everywhere. I've stirred up every pot, even in the kitchen. Don't worry, we'll find him. The salad looks surprisingly flavorsome. Is it a Calades recipe? Did you see her dress? Could have worn a rag and you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. These snails are extremely undercooked. What? Snails? That's not part of the menu. No, Smudge. They ate Smudge. But it went better than anyone expected. I think I've spent enough time with the guests. I really need to get back to the archive, so if you don't mind, I'll take my leave. Your Grace, leaving so early. Drink at least one more with us. Cue the poison. Perfect timing, Your Grace. I get some peace after that? To the young couple. Turns purple and dies. Like clockwork. Do something. Alice was on the ground before anyone had a chance to react. That was a timed answer. He's not, is he? Father? Your Grace. Yeah, he looks super dead. I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, could you? Could you ever allow for this to happen? Eric, you have accommodated us in your castle, but which we are grateful for, but this is beyond our beliefs. You have failed as a host, and you are responsible for the events of tonight. The King of Atana, Talus, is dead. Ivo, you're Talus's only son. You have no choice but to take the burden of the crown upon yourself. I can't believe this. You leave me no choice. As the new King of Atana, my first order is to withhold the armies that my father promised to you. The King of Davern, Eric, the King of Davern, you are responsible for Talus's death, unless otherwise can be proven upon a royal trial. Until then, Davern will not receive support from Atana. Celia, pack your things. We're taking my father home. You can't do that. Grace, the wedding is over. The vows were said, the marriage still stands. I mean, we seem to have all those soldiers here. And, you know, they're at the center of our seat of power. I feel like we've got the leverage. Your kingdom has agents available for hire. To make an agent available in the next week, you will need to pay them. To hire an agent, click on the button with their name. You will see the cost added to the summary. I already have Stan there. Right there. Week 10. And that's all I can recall, Your Grace. Considering how much I drank that night, it's quite remarkable I remember anything. Did you see anything suspicious? Anyone wandering off where they shouldn't? Lady Lena was staring at Lursulia's dress a bit too much, if you ask me, but nothing else, I'm afraid. And we are glad your daughter has been found safe and well. I think we've examined all the guests, Your Grace. We haven't heard anything out of the ordinary. Talus's soldiers were the main bulk of our army. Solving the murder case will surely convince Ivo to aid us in battle. Whoever did poison Talus must have planned it out to the smallest detail. If you find any leads, do let me know, Your Grace. Talus wasn't anyone's favorite person, but you need to have a very good reason to murder the King of Atana. We mustn't lose focus on our main goal, however. Redovia won't wait for us to resolve this. In this situation, we shan't rely on Ivo's army. We need to seek help from other lords, in case we can't convince Ivo in time. As for the army, we will need to reach out to neighboring lords, make allies, sign treaties. So everything up until this point has kind of been the, chapter 1, like, opening stuff. Sounds like you're in quite a pickle, Your Grace. You're still here? Speaking of allies, treaties, etc., I have a hefty army waiting for orders. I can throw in some extra gold and supplies to aid you too. 230 men and 6 gold. That's the catch. You do want something in return, I presume. Lurs, from Pendle, Your Grace. He stopped delivering spices to my associates in Branca. Turmeric, caraway, anise. Food's as bland as hell without all these. Persuade Lurs to renew the deliveries, and my men will aid you in the battle. See what can be done. There's a start. We should invite Lurs over and see what we can do. So marked areas of interest on the map. Might be worth checking them. Maybe we can find a piece of gold or two. Don't know when Redovia will show up, but we need to start preparing for the battle as soon as possible. I've made a note of things we can do in our weekly summary. We should be able to deny payment for our agents. We can't expect them to work if you don't pay them, but at least we can save a coin. Maintaining our army will also cost us supplies. Yeah, the tutorial sequence has ended. It only gets more difficult from now on, Your Grace. Oh, and here are the petitioners. Perhaps the servants will shine some light on the case. Explore locales, try to gain extra resources. The map. Lord now suspects King Eric is conspiring against him. The king ignored the troubled man, as it seems he himself didn't know why he wanted Eric's attention. Support the villagers. I wonder if we had that medicine, if it would have cured the king. Bandit attack. Ambushed, imprisoned the merchant. Stopped the village raid. Found the thief, passed the prisoner on, offered an alliance. Sick father, we might have been able to use the potion here. And agents to explore location. Simply select the location and click the magnifying glass. Oh, wow. Such folks. Some lords will provide extra gold or supplies in addition to their armies. There's lures. Alright, we're gonna check some other stuff first. Dear Father, we have arrived. Atana is nothing like Davern. The vast streets of Hagos expand endlessly, it seems. Salia would love to get lost in here. The journey was tiring, but the views have compensated for everything. Zidani would have made your ears fall off with her questions if she saw the landscapes here. The cliffs and rocks span across the whole of Atana. It all makes you feel very small. On top of all those rocks, there lies Hagos like a nest, looking over everything. Now I understand why they use the griffin as their banner. I'm really sorry for the last weeks we spent together. Hug Mother for me. Tana can be very pretty, but also very dangerous. You don't want to be caught out in the rural windstorms. We should reply to Lorsulia. Tell her it's good to hear from her. What should I ask her about? Maybe the girls have some questions. No sign of the Redovians at the West Post, Your Grace. We did find a hell of a mess, though. They left gold and supplies behind. Must have gone away in a hurry. Yeah, well. You called for me, Your Grace? This is the guy that delivered the poison drink. Tell me what happened at the during the wedding night. I don't know, Your Grace. It's only bringing food and drinks, like I was told. So sorry, Your Grace. I swear I did nothing, by the gods. Please don't punish me, I swear. I didn't know these drinks were poisoned. I only picked them up from the kitchen and brought them to the ceremony. I swear I didn't know. If you don't tell me right now what happened, I'll have your head chopped off. Oh, wow. There's a tone to the choices that it does not impart to you when you're making them. How did you know to give this wine to Talus? Swear I didn't do anything. I didn't know. I'm always told to serve the kings first, Your Grace, and that's what I did. But the dungeon guard might know something. He has mentioned he saw someone in the wine cellar that night. I don't know anything else, though, I swear. Narrows down our search, then. May go, but don't leave Davern until the royal trial. Thank you. Squeaky little dude. Next, peasant. Your Grace, my son, a disgrace to the family. I sent him to gather some brushwood in the forest. Turns out he's too dumb to find a way back home. Do you think you could help us find him? I mean, there's no rush. Oh, we're a little flush on money, so... buy a new one. I believe this should be enough to cover your... I didn't think my joke was going to be the actual answer. I'm getting paid for losing my son? That's wonderful. Oh, excellent. Groznia, go send all our other little brats into the forest. We're gonna be rich. This paving stone looks like it was moved. If I could get something sharp and thin to lift it. Sword would be too thick. It needs to be something smaller. Sulia sent a letter. Sister has arrived safely in Atana. You said you would love it here, or there. I'm sure I would if I ever got to leave this castle. You would be able to leave the castle if you behaved better. Yeah, right. When you write to Luli, can you ask her about Ivo? What's he like? I just can't imagine having to leave here and live with some strange man. If there is any free space in the letter, I'll ask her. How about that wedding? Our daughter has arrived safely. She seems to like Atana. Quite jealous of her. Atana is a beautiful place. Their castle is much better than ours, too. I hope she will learn her way around soon. I'm sure she will, darling. When you write her, tell her I'm sending my best wishes to them both. Ask her how she's dealing with all of these new things, and what has she been doing without her sisters. Of course, I don't want to write her a full-length book. I'll see what I can do. Can't believe Talus was poisoned. It could have been me. Do you think Lord Sulia will be alright? Ivo seemed very upset. I'm sure she'll be fine. As soon as we find out who's responsible for this, we can renew our treaty. Who could have done something so terrible? Must have been one of the guests. We're gathering evidence. When we have enough proof, we'll call for a royal trial. Alright, darling. I hope it gets resolved quickly. Oh, get some rest. Yeah, you do that. How can I help you? Tell me about what happened during the wedding night. The servant said you saw someone. Saw someone? No, but I found this. Some kind of tooth. And how did you obtain this item? I was guarding the prisoners, Your Grace. Well, might have had a drink or two with the other guards. It was a time to celebrate, after all. Never left the dungeons, of course. Until the end of my watch, that is. What happened at the end of your watch? I was doing the usual check of all the cellars, yes. A little unsteady, but that's where I found the tooth. Where exactly did you find this? In the wine cellars, Your Grace. I didn't see anyone going in there, though. They probably crept in while you were busy drinking. Sorry, Your Grace, I really didn't mean for anything bad to happen. A big, pointy animal or monster tooth. Huh. We don't have big creatures around the castle. Someone must have lost it. Interesting. Your Grace. There are a lot of seasonings that are questionable on their own. I mean, I must admit, I'm just kind of a salt and pepper sort of person. I'm about to reply something to her. Do you want me to say anything from you? Oh, yes. Tell her I'm taking her bedchamber. Mother, let me. Or, no. Tell her Asalia read her diary. No, that's not right. I have very limited space, Potato Head. So I can only say one thing? Yes. This is too big of a decision. I will come to you later when I think of something good enough. Fine, don't worry about it too much. She will write more letters. But the first one is the most important. Well, come and see me whenever you're ready. The table. Audrey said I can review the evidence here. Let's take a look. One tooth. Is that meant to be a hole for like a necklace? I don't know what that does. Let's check on Luba. Send an invite to Lurs. Something more I can talk to her about? Oh, we have a lead. Found some clues that might lead us to the person behind Talus's death. An animal tooth. Very exotic thing. We don't have dragons anywhere near Davern. Guard found it in the wine cellar. Not yet, Jorah. The very rude king did die of poisoning, so, you know, I think it kind of balances out. We did lose a sizable army, but then again, he's dead. So, you know, kind of a neutral situation. Maybe take it to a hunter, see if he can tell where exactly this tooth came from. We don't have a hunter in the castle. I'll ask Aubrey to put the word out that we're looking for one. Prepared a table for you with the overview of all of our evidence. When we find an evidence item, they will be shown on there, together with the information we have gathered about each one. We can question lords about the items we found so far. Tell her she's forgotten her slippers. Ask Larsulia how she is, what she does with her time. Tell her everyone misses her. Very well, Your Grace. I will write her a letter. Should anticipate a reply in a couple weeks. Well, we know they're not. Click. Army needs food and supplies. Bigger the army, the more supplies it will cost. To pay the army upkeep, simply click on the pay button. You'll see the cost added to the summary below. If you don't pay the army upkeep cost, you'll lose some soldiers. Oh man, some pricier options. I think one of the first things we're going to do is training ground. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's you toggle it on or off. If we get that training ground going early, then that should pay some dividends later, you know? A whole ton of people. Nearby river has dried up. Residents have been carrying water to their homes from a lake for days. I helped them with my horse, and now they have extra water saved for a few days. Made sure they knew it was thanks to the king. Hey, people are happy about that. Mr. Lurs. This animal tooth. It's like a healthy animal, no holes or chips. Not sure what animal it could have come from. I'm not much of an expert on beasts. I've heard that you have stopped supplying Bronco with some resources. Spices, I believe? I suspect you've been speaking to Ed. He trades my spices with Procus to get fortune dabs. Fortune dabs. Some call it Dipu Dabu. But it's most commonly known by the name of Oracle Dust. I've heard about Redovia. I can help, if you aid me in return. Oracle Dust? It has medicinal uses, of course, but also recreational. Highly addictive. It's particularly popular among priests and the like. Something about spiritual enlightenment. Makes a lot of coin, but ultimately costs people's lives. I want no part of this. Shame I'm losing sales, though. Marcus? That's far away. It's the, it's rapture via chemical there, casemate. Yes, I urge you to help me curtail Etten's plans. Do not buy any oracle dust. If you hear of anyone trying to sell dust, don't hesitate to put them in the dungeons. If anything suspicious happens, make sure I'm the first to know. If you do the right thing, be sure that my army will stand by your side when the war begins. And just 200 soldiers, and I can also help with 6 supplies. I heard Etna is selling dust near Koski. The first step in the right direction would be to stop their deliveries. See what Lord Etna has to say about this first. Just don't let that buffoon get under your skin, Your Grace. I don't want to jump into the conflict having heard just one side of it, you know? We should check with Etna to make sure what he says is true. You can find Etna on the Allies panel. it's a comparable amount. Like, Etten is offering a little more, but I feel like there will be consequences if we let the drug trade build up. I'm sorry for what I said last time, Your Grace. I cannot think straight sometimes. The thing is, someone is after me. But how can I find out who? I don't have a clue. If I tell anyone what I know, then they will know, and that is worse, right? Well, I could throw him in prison, but I only have the one cell. So what do you need? How can I help you if you won't tell me exactly what's happening? At the very least, casemate, drugs that put you so high on life it's transcendental, and that are listed as highly addictive might fall under the bad category. Your Grace, you don't understand. Tell me what you did to make someone want to come after you. I saw a man and... No, that's not it. I don't know. I can't tell you, Your Grace. What if this person is listening? I want to keep the prison cell open. Do not waste my time if you can't come up with a way for me to help you. Fine, Your Grace. I really didn't mean to upset you. I'm just so scared. Don't come here again. Go. Go out in the open where they can get you, at least. Stop making it everyone else's problem. Spices. Found the tooth. The wedding incident. Hello, banker. No, go away, banker. Your Grace, I hate that Lursulia has left already. She looked very pretty in her dress. She would look beautiful in any dress. I already miss her. When I have a wedding, can I wear the same dress? Well, of course you can. It didn't cost me anything, so of course you can. Mother said Lursulia sent a letter and that she's fine. Have you already replied? Have you asked about Dusty? I haven't asked her about Dusty yet. Can you please ask Lursulia about the cat? Where does he sleep? What does he eat? Is he alive, even? I will ask her about the cat. You promised to practice sword fighting with me, remember? Maybe we could try that later today? Please? See you in the gardens. Your Grace, men with monsters on their banners came ravaging our village. They set our barn on fire. It wasn't long before the flames spread to other buildings. The village is still burning. Most of our supplies are already lost. Please send us help. I want to keep the general for sending stuff, so here's some food. Should be enough to get you back up and running. We're still relatively flush on supplies. Hopefully that won't change. Needles. We can take some of these things now. Got some adventure game going on here. Mushrooms. I don't want to think what else is growing in here. It's quite pretty, though. Nobody up there. Now we've got to kind of search around to make sure we're not missing any takeables. How you doing? I don't understand why this would happen. How could someone eat Smudge? Dusty is gone, and now Smudge as well. Smudge is 6 feet underground. Then again, I couldn't dig that deep, so I just covered him with a rock. It's so boring here without Luli. You promised you'd convince her to stay. She even going to visit us? Of course she will. Give her some time to settle in first, and then we'll arrange to bring her for a dinner. I'm sure they'll want to visit for dinner again after what happened last time. You think she could bring Dusty? I don't think so. He's a cat. They don't like to be locked up in a cage for hours. I'll find a new pet before she comes, then. Oh, the needle. A piece of paper. Some sort of letter. It has a map of the castle, and it reads, "Find wine in the cellar. Mix it with 7 drops of the substance in a glass. Be seen by no one." It's like an instruction letter to whoever poured poison in Talus's wine. Beautifully decorated with some flowers. We don't usually decorate our letters. It would be too costly. Perhaps we can trace these drawings to the person who has written this. How's the practice? Banter. More banter. You heard about Sidani. What happened? I told her she should find a pet that can actually do something besides being disgusting. She has been leaving bait in the garden since then. Nothing has been showing up, so I took one of the stuffed skunks from the hall and put it behind the bush. In the evening, I told her something took her bait. When she saw a huge skunk half her size, she panicked. She grabbed my sword. She could barely lift it. It was hilarious. She kept hitting that poor skunk, but it wouldn't budge. Or Sidani. She wouldn't hurt an animal. Mother heard her scream. She came and ruined everything. Sidani actually cried when she found out the thing was stuffed. Oh, Salia. Come on, Father. You have to admit this is funny. Can't believe she would attack a skunk. She thinks she can fight because she keeps seeing you running around with your sword. I know, she keeps pestering me to fight her. We should end it here. I better check on Sidani. We did find a new thing. There's not a way to leave this. There we go. You want to talk about the skunk? Talia told me what happened. Well, I just got scared and I didn't know what else to do. It was dark out there and the eyes were shiny. I was worried you'd be mad at me for bringing monsters to the castle. So I just took Asalia's sword. I'm sorry I ruined your stuffed animal, Father. I hope you forgive me. It's just an old stuffed skunk. It's not your standard high-quality trophy, a skunk. It's just an old stuffed skunk. I was going to get rid of it anyway. You were very brave, but I don't want you running around with that sword again, alright? Fine, I won't. See you later, Potato Head. I still love how the name sticks. No, I have a regular head. Yes, like a regular potato. Supposed to be something here. Maybe the general? Look at this letter. Found this in the gardens. It is a unique decoration. Do you recognize it? Never seen such elegant writing, either. I can ask around to see if anyone in the village knows anything. Do you want me to? Maybe not just yet. I feel like questioning around the village for somebody who has the time and resources to make what amounts to an illuminated murder plot is questionable. Found some clues. Here's a letter. Found this letter in the gardens. It contains instructions about pouring poison in a wine glass and a map of our castle. The letter seems to be decorated with flowers, like in the olden days. How can we trace this letter to whoever wrote it? It's a very important piece of evidence. Ask a general if he knows anyone who decorates their letters in such a manner. He is available, he'll probably be at the wall. Unfortunate. I wanted to spend a general in a different way than that. Please do it discreetly and don't mention it's about Talus's death. We don't want anyone to find out we have a lead. Come and see me in the throne room if you find anything. Alright, well. On we go. Gonna hold off money-wise. Let it build up a little bit more. She has something in her arms that is... I presume it's an animal, but it looks kind of like a bread loaf of some kind. Already checked on that. Agents can come and we can hire them. Okay. I wonder if that's going to be like a huntsman. Next dude. Found this in my wine cellar. Can you tell me anything about it? There's an animal tooth doing in your wine cellar. It looks like someone has lost it. I'm trying to find its owner. I don't know. Probably someone who's interested in animals. Creatures, shall I say. The letter came on very intricately decorated parchment. Do you know where it could have come from? People used to do that in the old days. Now it's out of fashion, if you ask me. I don't know who could have sent it. Don't you know who you receive letters from? I haven't exactly received it. Never mind. I have heard what you need those spices for. Your Grace, I can explain. Oracle dust is far from dangerous. As far as I've been told, it has medical uses, more than anything else. Just an easy way to make some gold. Doesn't matter if you sell dust or not, it's going to get out to people anyway. If we're the ones selling it, then at least we're the ones profiting. If you pass it on, don't trouble yourself with the people who use it. You just pass it on. In fact, I could really use your help in this operation. And in return, I will always be at your service. I have a location near Beltois that has some problems with the locals. Send an agent its way and maybe he could give us a hand. Also, if anything out of the ordinary happens, then make sure I'm the first to know. We need to keep an eye on other sellers. If anyone comes selling, make sure you buy a pack or two. I will be able to double your earnings. If you do right by me, then I'm sure I'll do right by you. I'll give you my men, gold, and supplies. Not promising anything. At least you're not saying no. Look, I'll throw in some extra for your efforts. Alongside 230 men, I'll throw in my hounds. They're deadly and precise. The Radovians won't know what hit them. Okay. That new pet you're hiding there, Potato Head? Yep, they're, I'm not sure. It's very tempting to just rack up money. We are being very economy-centric. Is this a new pet you're hiding? Your Grace, may I introduce you to the Stabber? Oh no. The Hedgehog. The Stabber. I wanted to name him Hanson, but that name is already taken. The other option was to call him Squisher, but it didn't seem like that would scare off enemies. Underneath, he has a velvet yummy tummy. You wish could just stroke and squish all day. But on top it's a whole different story. On top, he's a scary stiff stabber. What is this all about? Oh, Father, do you know the tale of Hanson? No. Hanson was a hedgehog who rode on a black rooster. He was ugly and unwanted, but one day he helped a king find his way home. I thought I'd heard a story like this. As a prize, the hedgehog asked the king to promise to give him whatever greets him first upon his return home. Yep. It turned out that the king's daughter was the first to greet him. 1 year later, the hedgehog came to claim his reward and married the princess. It was difficult for the princess to love the ugly creature Hanson was, but she learned to accept him, and once she proved her true love for him, Hanson turned into the most handsome prince with the biggest castle made out of diamonds. That seems like a hazard to your vision, a castle of diamonds. Sun rises and the entire district is blinded. The story sounds familiar. I wish life was as simple as a fairy tale. Lady Danica always tells me this tale before bed, Father. It's a well-known story. A lot of books have different versions of it. The most popular was something about an old man with white hair killing monsters. It's very silly, but Danica loves this one a lot. See, I will turn the Stabber into a prince. prince. Oh, it's not for me, father. Once the stabber is a prince, I can help. He can help me get Luli back. I'm sure she will like him more than Ivo. And then she and Dusty can come back to the castle. Fine, keep your hedgehog. Keep the stabber close to you, but don't lose him. And don't stab yourself. It's not the stabber, it's the stabber in caps. It's like she's saying it with emphasis. The stabber is on a mission, and he is about to stab someone. Be a very brittle building material for one. At least she will be occupied. Not sure if that's a good thing. Okay, so my village has been raided by bandits. These scum are fiercer than any others. There have been casualties. They have killed an entire family. We're counting on help from your general. We should keep an eye on these bandits to make sure Radovians are not creating further posts. If they are locals, we should show them that there is no place for such behavior. I can't help everyone. Ready your pitchforks and keep your eyes open. We feel safer with a royal army at our side, but I understand. We might have to shell out for another general in the next one. We can certainly use his hounds and army in the battle, but as promising as trading dust sounds, it could cause problems later. If we decide to help Etten, we can be sure Lars will cancel his offer of an army. I feel like this is going to be a short-term gain that will later tank our prosperity. So, let's know what havoc this substance will cause in the future. Better not risk it. I don't want people coming to me crying that they've lost family members to this poison. Of course, Your Grace. In that case, we should aid Lurs in stopping this nasty business. Send a general to Koski as soon as possible to shut down that trading site he was talking about. And if we ever come across anyone wanting to sell dust, we should imprison them for a while, just to discourage further sales. Lurs will be happy to hear this, so after we have done what he asked for, we should invite him over. Okay, well that answers some questions for me there. Pigeons. Turns out he's trading oracle dust and wants my help with it. Lord Lurs doesn't approve, he thinks it's bad for people. Both of the lords have promised to lend us armies if we help them. But really, I don't know what to think about it. You really think that selling dust is bad for people? It does have side effects. If more people start using it with no regulation, we could have problems. We don't have enough resources or doctors to deal with things going wrong. But then again, it might also be that nothing bad happens. It would be interesting if we could play it that way, that you have the, that you get to do the war on drugs and the drug cartelling at the same time, you know? What do you think? I mean, I hear God's servants use it, so I'm sure it's fine. After the war with Rodovia, if things start going wrong, we can always stop supporting it. Thank you, sweetheart. Interesting. Okay, Beltois is the one that So it looks like we have an option of both. And once we have a general again, I can make the choice. In the interim, how about you? Things are going well. How about another general? I think that's what it'll do. Pigeon. My husband, King Ivo, is very good to me. He has done everything to make me feel at home. I spend most of my days reading books and learning about Etana. King Ivo wishes me to grow familiar with their traditions. We start each day with a prayer, followed by a rich, lavish breakfast. Later, I learn about the history of Etana and its geography. Last week, I met Paloma, the king's mother. She's poorly, but King Ivo says he will continue his father's quest to find a cure for her illness. Ivo certainly wants his wife to understand their ways. I'm not sure I like it. We should ask Lursulia about something else. Tell her she forgot her slippers. Ask her about the cat. Tell her Sidani keeps pestering me. I'll write her a letter. It's important that we ask her about the cat. I haven't found out anything specific about the decorations from the letter, but the word has it that the kings of the north usually decorate their correspondence to show off their wealth. Maybe some of our northern lords adopted this tradition. Thank you, General. If you find anything else, please let me know. Lord Joven, my condolences about Talus's death. I've heard about Redovia. I will help you with them. 120 men will be at your command. I'll also give you 5 gold, but only if Sir Frederick joins your ranks. I wouldn't want to upset him. Who's Sir Frederick? Battle for Brianna? You must have heard. He led the defense force, repelled an army 5 times bigger. My superior officer, I served under his banner. Although it's been many years, we keep in contact. We train together. Recent years haven't been easy for him, I must say. I'm sure Sir Frederick will help. It's just a formality. About this tooth. Found this in my wine cellar. Can you tell me anything about it? You have an extensive library, Your Grace. Don't you have a bestiary you could look at? I don't think we keep any bestiaries in our library. I don't either. I think someone who has personally dealt with a lot of animals would know more about this tooth. This letter is written on very intricately decorated parchment. Do you know where it could be from? Some lords use fancy paper to show off their wealth, but I don't know anyone who does that. Now we gotta get this Lord Frederick. Hey, you. Really gone overboard this time. I know it was you. Everything is clear. I stayed in the woods, waiting for 3 weeks, but now I know. Get in the box. I knew it was you. I just don't know what you would want from me. I don't want anything from you. The guard near the exit will take care of you. I'll come and see you later. What are you doing with this brush? Mother made me sweep all the corridors. Why? What did you do this time? Nothing. Tell me what you did. Nothing, I swear. Your mother will tell me what you did if you won't. I better start sweeping before she finds me. Name is Olivia, Your Grace. I come from the forest, the leader of the cult of the trees in the western woods. I know I am probably not welcome here, but you are my last hope, Your Grace. I've asked all the neighboring villages for help, but they despise my god. In the middle of the forest, we have a sacred oak, and because of all the recent rains, the area around it has flooded. A stream of water keeps running all over its roots. We have tried stopping the water, but we don't have the appropriate tools. Our people need this tree to pray to, Your Grace. Without it, they are depressed and scared. I can't bear to see them so helpless. Hopeless. Please help us, Your Grace. I don't want to spend that money. You praying to a tree? Yes, Your Grace. It's the tree of the god of thunder, a symbol of love and life filled with healing powers. Nothing bad can happen to this tree. Your Grace, please, I beg you. Oh, send the general. He will organize someone to help you dig a ditch for the water to drain. Send my prayers to you. Letter. Oof. Traveling merchant here. I'm selling rather exclusive wares. Silk, perfumes, books, and decorations. Tells me you might be interested in far more delicate merchandise, though. How fandustic. Something very precious here. Satisfaction for the most disillusioned pleasure seekers. Some say it's the perfect cure for when you don't feel particularly inspired. Others may use it purely for recreation. It's very good generally if you're going through a bad spell. 1 pack for 7 gold. If that's not a deal worthy of your royal bottom, then I don't know what is. Get in the box. Oracle dust, I've never heard of it. I was considering this path until he said fandustic. And that that was the nail in the coffin for the Oracle dust trade, in my opinion. Any merchants that are going to say fandustic need to be removed from the kingdom. Oh, okay, we can fit more than one person in the cell. Okay, useful. Didn't know you disapproved of dust. I thought it was like any other consumable product. People get sick because of this stuff. Anyone who sells dust in Davern will be imprisoned. You'll stay here until Lord Lurs arrives. How you doing, Pietro? Oh, Your Grace. It feels safer in here. I don't have to worry about anyone coming after me. I have my friend here, and no one can come inside. I wish I just asked you to imprison me straight away, Your Grace. Glad you feel safer. You're right, no one is going to come here looking for you. I owe you my life, Your Grace. Let me give you my army. I won't need them. I'll just stay here. You have an army? Yes, I know, but I couldn't tell them what's going on. It would have been one of them. It could have been one of them. Yeah. can stay here as long as you like, Pietro. Guard know if you need anything. Wow, he actually had 4 dudes. Everything you need? Sturdy walls, steel bars, personal guard. Oh wait, there's nowhere to run. Uh... What did Asalia do? This must have been serious. She's behaving worse and worse as she grows up. She convinced one of our servants to practice sword fighting with her. It didn't end well. The servant ended up with a huge cut on his cheek. You shouldn't have let her play with swords, Eric. I know I shouldn't have, but I feel that if I had said no, she'd still do it in secret. I know, we need to pay more attention to her, especially now that Luli is not here, to narc on her all the time. I have no nude leads. Oh. Okay. See how Frederick is. Oh, okay. That's not what that is. Okay, that was a one-time thing. Good, good, good. That man has a mustache. Your service. Looking for allies. Lord Joven mentioned you could help me. Yes, I've heard of your troubles, Your Grace. Erdovians lack proper training, but gods know that they have what they have at their disposal. My 80 men, 4 gold, and 2 supplies will be a great boon. As a noble knight, it is my duty to help those in need. However, I can't allow liars to taint a knight's honor. The battles for Brianna, Keldu. Under my command, the army of the 2-headed bird was defeated. I have lost 3 fingers in my time. I have endured many broken bones. But Noxie, not a single scar. Even the finest swordsman bears scars. Many have fought and died. But Noxie, show me a single person who can confirm his accomplishments. Someone who actually saw him in a fight. For all we know, it's just prettily worded lies. Noxie is a deceiving liar, and I ask you to help me prove it. Who's that? This fellow got well under your skin. Who is he? Noxie the Dragon Slayer, he calls himself. Thinks he's a knight, but he's far from it. He usually travels around quite a bit, but I hear people have seen him around Davern recently. If you meet him, he'll surely tell you the same story he tells everyone. There was something about a griffin in a tree. He sets the tree on fire, but the griffin comes to save her The big griffin comes to save her cubs, but catches her wing on fire, drops down, and he finishes her off. Doesn't matter. It's always the same story, different details. What is it that you need help with, did you say? Tell him there's it's like a lich egg in the nearby forest. The creature's just a story, and of course it's not there. See what he says, though. If he brings you proof, then we catch him red-handed. Help me show everyone that what he's really made of, and I will stand by your side in one more battle. The craft will flourish, no man can stop. In the middle of the night we shall meet, for the dust spreads fastest in the sandstorm. Make any sense of it, Audrey? I'm afraid just as much as you, your lord. Something tells me it's to do with oracle dust, though. We should pass this on to either Lurs or Etten. Alright. We're gonna start with lures, though, because that message is relatively overt a threat. Your Grace, I come to you with a special request. To turn Stabber into a prince, I need to lift his curse. I've researched more into it. I think you're the youngest one of us who can read, Sadani. Well, I made Danica read it for me. I already love him as hard as I can. I squish and tickle his tummy all the time. But now I need to make him rich. Your Grace, can I please request 1 piece of gold? I'll pay it back. Piece of gold to make a hedgehog rich. Here you go. 1 gold piece. Thank you, Father. Your efforts will not be forgotten. I also need to find a black rooster with a saddle. You know where I could find one? My potato head, I honestly don't know. That's fine, my king. I shall find one myself. Little girl's on a mission. A mission to transmogrify a hedgehog. Yes, Father? Wedding didn't go as planned? No, what happened was terrible. Wedding went fairly well until then. Although Lord Sully is... Sammy's pushing buttons. Do a quick cat check here. Just the one. Lord Sulia's dress was rather embarrassing. I can't believe you chose that one for her. I'd never let you choose my dress. Well, we'll see about that. What are you talking about? We'll spend exactly the same on your wedding as we spent on hers. We're all about equality here. All right. Are going to call it there. Right about time. I think we might pick up with this one some more. There's some potential at least to get a playthrough done with this. It'd be interesting. Well, I hope you all had a good time watching it with me tonight. If you have any feedback, feel free to swing by the Discord and let me know. There is a link to it in the video description. Whether you'd like to have some if you have some feedback about the streams, or if you just want to chat with the other viewers, feel free to swing by. We are going to be picking up more Murder by Numbers tomorrow. Puzzles and mysteries and murders and what have you. And then for Saturday, the scheduled game is Danganronpa, which is another murder mystery style game, but it seems like there's a lot more killing in that, so that could be fun. But yeah, assuming no further changes to the schedule, that's what we're going to be up to. And thanks everybody for joining us. I hope the rest of your night is good, and I will see you tomorrow.